Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, AJ Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
Peace and blessings, everybody. What's happening? What is going on?
What's up?
Here we are, another great Sunday. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. I always have a great day. God is so good. And I hope everybody watched whatever spiritual show that they decide to watch on Sunday and enjoy it, man. So what's up, AJ? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Yo, so this weekend, my family got together. Everybody flew into town to celebrate my family being in Westchester County for 150 years. On my mother's side. Yeah, on my mother's side. So we went and they did the whole, family tree thing and everybody. So I seen people flew in from different places and was here. And then the rest of them were watching that. They watched it on Zoom because we was live on Zoom. So that was good to see everybody. So I'm probably going to do a little article. So on my mother's side, my family has been in Westchester 150 years this year. So,
wow. Congratulations, man. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, Mount Vernon and New Rochelle mostly, yeah.
Wow. No, that's a beautiful thing, man. You got roots.
Yeah. And then I just got a call. So shout out to my man, Archie Snowden. To go by the name of MC Amazing A. He's doing this documentary called The Long Island Legends of Underground Hip Hop. And of course, we're in it. And they had interviewed B Love before, and they had already finished the documentary, but he was like, hey, I got to get you in there. So they extended it 10 minutes and interviewing me for my part tomorrow so they could throw it in there. So I'm like, so I'm doing that tomorrow. So that's going to be a good look, So about all the underground, the people before the records, the people that was doing it for back in the days who really started it out there in that sound in Suffolk County. So, and then, us for our part. So, that's a beautiful thing. So we'll do that tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man,
and thanks to everybody who's been checking out the Substack. Substack starting to bubble. I got a new Substack starting to bubble up. I'm working on my new book, so I'm putting a little. And, it's just a place where, because all of my people that follow me, some people just ain't into politics. I used to be not like that. I wasn't into politics. So, on Substack, I'm an MC. I'm a hip hop head. I'm a big sports fan, mostly the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm a spiritual person. And on Substack, all my different parts of me can all coexist as one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you might find a little bit of everything on there. You know what I mean? So So definitely check it out on Substack. It's doing a lot of good stuff and on there, and a lot of people are starting to follow it, and I really appreciate it. And subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So, and I got you don't even know. So on your front page it says recommendations page. I got your Substack listed in the recommendations on the side.
You could do that?
Yeah.
Man, yo, dude, I just post and keep it moving, man. I haven't even talked. Yo, go ahead, talk, AJ.
Yeah, so I've been reposting some of your stuff.
How long we been doing the show? How long we been doing the show?
This will be.
How long has we been doing this damn show?
Oh, going on 12 years. Going on 12 years
at the same time.
Yeah, August will be 12 years. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, so that's what's up, man. So I shared, this was Sunday. I got a couple of calls, some people going through some stuff. And I shared an old clip of one of a syndicated radio show I used to do, Spiritual Minded. And I did a thing called The Theology of Brokenness, talking about broken and what it means to be broken, when you feel that feel and all that. So it's an inspirational. Join us up in the Substack. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it inspires the person who originally hit me and anybody else who's just going through it, looking for answers and just don't have it, So I hope it blesses everybody. I used to do this show called Spiritual Minded Radio. The same way like we do Black Westchester, we had a podcast and had an online magazine. You know what I'm saying? So, I after talking to person I was talking to, I remembered this episode I did, and I went and found it and downloaded it and just uploaded it onto Substack today. So that was my thing today. And check tomorrow. I got a deep dive into the importance of the underrated classic Chico DeBarge album number 3. Long time no see was that was the dope one. And of all of them, and I break down why that was underrated and how dope that album is, and that drops tomorrow at 7:00, so you can catch that on my Substack. But if you subscribe, you'll see everything when it comes up. So, you'll see a lot of stuff, sports stuff, and everything. My next one act like they knew what they were doing. They didn't got spanked, and they didn't get beat. They beat themselves. Like I stand by that the Knicks can beat anybody in the 7-game series. People ask me, who did I fear the team that would beat the Knicks in the playoffs? And I said, the Knicks. I don't feel no other team. So they played with their food in game 2 and lost the lead and then lost the game. They beat themselves in game 3, but then they act like they knew what they was doing and blew out the Atlanta Hawks in game 4. So which should have been a closeout game. You know what I'm saying? Now they got to play to like 6 or 7 to win this series. But, look like they got back on track, which I'm very happy because if you see on my podcast, on my Substack, I definitely tore them a new one after they lost game 3. Oh, man, I got into them, man. I was like, yo. And David, you know how I do. I tweeted it to all the starting members, to the organization, to everybody that had anything to do with the Knicks, the coach. I tweeted it to all. I hope somebody seen it because I tweeted it to all of them. Boy, that's how upset I was, man. I was like, yo, I let the ball happen.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think we're gonna be okay. We play again Tuesday. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I can't remember, but that's what's up. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you said that while your phone was ringing and you were on the phone. My phone, and you told me keep talking. My phone just rang twice. My phone just rang.
Twice. But I mean, dude.
But that's different, though. I mean,
I'm like, you know what time it is on Sunday, and you call me. I mean, that's what it is to be married, man. Just it is what it is.
Oh, David, I just saw this clip. I meant to send it to you before you get into it. So a woman took her husband to one of them TV court shows for wanting to have sex too much. He wants to have sex 3 times a day. She wants to have it maybe once or twice a week. You know what I'm saying? And she was trying to get the judge to rule in her favor that she didn't have to have sex that much. I was like, yo.
No, first of all,
first off, it was the craziest thing.
clearly she married him. He was doing it.
Right.
Like,
but the judge, she was a female judge. She was like, she said something. She's like, before I go further, just for clear, I handle my business in my house. So like she said that. She was like ain't no problems over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then she went into the whole thing and recommended they get some. But you know, the breaking it down, the last thing when she finally got down to everything, the wife, she said, what do you want from your husband? And what do you want from your marriage? And she said to feel whole, to be fixed. She said, you do understand your husband can't fix you, right? Like you have to fix you.
right.
No matter what your husband does for you. And then she told him too. She was like, yo, you got a good man. And I'm trying to, she said, I'm a preacher's wife, so I'm trying to watch my words. She said, but you gonna mess around and some other woman gonna take your husband. That's what she told him. She was like,
And listen, man, you know, that's a whole conversation. And we only got 30 minutes until Tanya come on, Yolanda come on, and we're gonna have a discussion with her. But I want to get through these. The first thing, man, I did an article about deed theft. And that has been a problem in Black communities for a long time. And in Brooklyn, you know, I guess it just got out of hand when they were snatching people's homes left and right. And it was down a certain block, you know, and you know me, when I don't hear politicians addressing the issue, I get upset because deed theft affects Black generational wealth. And a lot of these families are Black families, they're older Black families, you know, and they're taking advantage of the system, but nobody's fixing the system so it won't happen. Now, you know, after the city council got arrested and, you know, the sheriff's department and all that, they come up with I guess a deed theft board or whatever Mayor Mandami is doing. But, you know, unless they are fixing the process, unless they come out with fixing the process, by the time they get to that, you know, people still might be losing their homes. And to the fact that it just now is on Tish James' radar. Now, allegedly, she was supposed to have some type of task force out of the AG's office. But these deed thefts are still happening. So it's in the process. Like there's no checks and balances in the process. And I tell everybody that's watching, y'all have to be very careful when you own homes. You know, especially if you have an older relative, an older uncle, grandfather, even your mother, grandma that own a home. I will always, you know, listen, I got that deed protection service. You understand? And you know, it's a little dollars a month, but it's going to keep me from, hopefully it's going to keep me from losing my home that's worth a couple of $100,000, a few $100,000, almost $1 million, right? And that's generational wealth. So I think, you know, this is a lesson, not for us. We have to protect ourselves, but we also got to get these elected officials to look at the process and make some checks and balances, you know, on these people, because they're taking advantage of a broken system. You know, go ahead, AJ.
Two things. One, and I hate to sound like a cynic and all cynical. I don't see the politicians doing anything about it until it happened to them or their family members and they lose their houses. Then all of a sudden all kinds of rules are going to, or laws are going to change. Secondly, I've been seeing a while ago, maybe about a year or so ago, I started seeing that commercial. It mostly plays like late night about the service, about how they can get your like, and people were on the show talking about how they just got a letter in the mail. Like they didn't notice someone somehow got their deed and did whatever and then sold the house. Like, and it was just like, I didn't know this thing was possible. And it was like breaking down, like alerting people to the danger of that. And they've been doing that. And they've been having shows and stuff about for the last couple of years about that. And, I mean, it didn't happen to anybody I know or anything, but I've been seeing that. I've been seeing
No,
that.
but
that it is a thing. And it's like, and one of the places I seen was a commercial that was selling like a service like what you have, like to protect, like they protect you from all that, and they let you know, when somebody's trying to get your deed, and the guy who was a criminal before, who works with them now, talked about how easy it is to do that. He was like, "Yo, you just got to do this, and I can have your house, and I can sell your house." And he was like, "Yo," he was
right,
breaking it down.
right, and it's easy. It's so easy, these days. With technology, and then seniors are so, like, I used to always tell my mother, if someone calls you and they ask you for information, tell them to call me. Do not give them information, or tell them that you will call them back and take down their number and give it to me, because they're so easy, to be manipulated over the phone, and they prey on older people. So we really have to be careful. And you know what? And Tish James, you could kiss my ass, because you just came out with this. You are the AG. You should have been on this a long time ago. Now you want to be in front of the camera talking about you going to do something. See, we gotta stop falling for the okie doke, black people, when these politicians just want to come out for the camera and they're not doing no work. There should be automatic policies from the New York State Attorney General on deed theft. There should be automatic recommendations to, I guess, the clerk's office. You deal with the clerk's office, right? Whether it's local, county, right? On deed protection. We haven't seen anything but talk. And the only reason why I got to that point is because that city council member got caught up and got arrested. And that's even crazier. How are you arresting a city council? This is insane. And let's look at one of the culprits.
Wait, and the city council, for you police officers, the city council who approves your raises and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wrong one. Here we go.
Major deed theft case was unexpectedly postponed. News 12 Shakti Dennis was there.
Tensions ran high inside the Brooklyn courthouse today. On one side, victims of deed theft. On the other, supporters of Sanford Solney, a disbarred lawyer who was convicted back in June for stealing 11 Brooklyn properties through a fraudulent real estate scheme targeting mostly minority homeowners in financial distress. His sentencing was supposed to happen today, but last night, some victims learned that it had been postponed. Lawyers say Solney hadn't met with probation because of the Jewish holidays. Still, some victims came to court anyway, only to find dozens of Solney's supporters there too.
He told me that I should not come today. Why can't I show up today as a victim? Why didn't he call all of them and tell them not to show up?
Inside the courtroom, the judge set a new sentencing date and allowed one victim who traveled from out of state to read an impact statement.
He took away my property. He took away Mr. Sony harmed me and left me with a short end of the stick.
Solney's defense attorney says he respects the court's decision, but claims the victims are not telling the full story.
This court found them guilty of making a false representation. Punishment will ensue for that. But this persistent notion that all of these individuals were hapless, unknowing, unintelligent individuals is just wrong.
Victims and advocates say they're frustrated by how long the case has dragged on. Some are still fighting to keep their property.
It destroyed our lives. They took more than 13 years away from us.
The new sentencing date is now set to November 12, and on that day, more victims are expected to address Solney directly and tell him how this whole situation has impacted them.
So he's not going to be sentenced to November, first off. So, and how you don't let the victims speak, because that's what you do at those sentencing things. They hear from the victims. How do you tell certain victims they can't speak? I'm just seeing this for the first time, so I'm reacting to what I just saw. So this dude, and then the lawyer had the nerve. The lawyer first said was like, oh, well, like these were all unintelligent people. Yo, intelligent people can get caught out there. You don't have to be a hapless, unintelligible person to get caught up in something like this. Intelligent people get caught out like this too.
He was shamming them. He was completely shamming them. You know, I've seen that. I've seen that done to the Bright Hope Lodge, where the developer ended up owning the whole property. And Mary Ramey, God bless her dad, God bless the dad, she was a real estate agent, and she told them, do not take the key. And they did. And they went from owning to renting.
Wow.
Right there. Right there on Manhattan Avenue and Terrytown Road, right on that corner by the church, there's a building. The whole lot used to be the Bright Hope Lodge. They revented, they did it over. They put 2 stores in the bottom, right? So they can make money, and they end up losing the whole building to the developer.
Is that one of the lodges we used to drop papers off to? No, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to picture
in Greenburgh.
Yes,
Greenburgh,
okay.
right next to Union Baptist Church.
Right. Okay.
On that corner, there's a building, and in the back. Let me tell you, but it happens because people don't pay attention, and they get you, and you don't get the correct lawyers. You know, but this has been. But they've been preying on Black people for the longest. This is not new. They just got out of control in Brooklyn. And people started speaking up. You know, but
they tried to get everybody on the block, something. They tried to get a whole block.
Yeah, they were going down the whole block. Yo, that's insane. Yo, dude, that's insane. That's insane.
Facts, and it came to light. Oh,
yeah, and it came to light. But this been going on in the Black community. Ain't nobody been saying nothing. Tish James ain't been saying nothing until now because it's newsworthy. We gotta stop being fooled by a lot of these Black Negro politicians.
Yeah, I heard that was going on out there.
Oh yeah,
I don't know too much about it, but I heard something like that.
Yeah, tomorrow at 8:00, we're having Chicago Flip Red. They started because they tried to steal one of the founders' property. And even knocked her mother's the building down. And she's still fighting. That's how the organization got started. And then it went into all the other stuff, the foolishness that the mayor's doing and stuff like that. But originally because they took her mother's property.
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, it's national. See, these are the things that Black people need to start standing on when we're voting for politicians, and not be scared to reject some of these politicians.
You know, without us and others, a lot of times the Black community doesn't know what's going on. But you know who knows what's going on? The politicians know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? Like the politicians.
Yeah, but if you don't question them on it, they're not going to talk about it.
Right, right.
So they
Some
rely.
I'm saying some people don't even know to question. Like everybody, I'm sure that there's somebody right now hearing about this for the first time that never heard about this.
No,
You understand what I'm
exactly.
saying? Yeah, yeah.
No,
And
no,
the mainstream
that's
media is
power.
not doing the mainstream media and is not doing regular stories and covering it up. I mean, exposing it. So without us doing stuff like this, there are people that still will not know and don't know that this is going on. They don't even know to look out for this. You know what I'm saying? To question the politicians because they don't know this is a thing. You know,
Right,
it
right.
didn't happen to them. It didn't happen to nobody they knows. They ain't hear about it on the news, so they don't know it's existing. They don't even know it happens.
Right. So, all I'm saying, if you own a house, please get one of those title protection plans to protect yourself, because,
And I see
it's out
commercials, so
there.
they're easy to find. They're easy to find.
It's, they just Google. I mean, it's just Google. Please get that, because they're out here and they're taking advantage. And because it's Black people, mainstream media is not talking about it, and they're not making it a big deal.
So I also want to say, so when you Google, look up a couple of them,
Wow.
and find out what they offer. What do you get? What are you protected under? Because I'm sure there's probably a couple of those that are scams too. You know what I'm saying? They take your money. You know what I'm saying? So find out what, like call more than one and find out what they offer and what kind of protection they offer for what you're paying for, so that you make sure that you're straight and make sure you get everything
Right.
in writing. Everything that they say they're gonna do, make sure they get it in writing. So it's not like, so you protect it.
Right. All right, we're gonna jump on.
Miss Jackson had left her mom's property, had deed and will to prove it, and they are still trying to steal the property.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's get back. Everybody, they tried to kill the president last night. I'm not laughing that they tried to kill the president. I'm just laughing because it's just the backlash and whatever. So for those who don't know, they had the National Press Club.
The White House press correspondence dinner. They had
Right, but it was sponsored by the National Press Club, right? It wasn't sponsored by the White House.
No, but it's called the White House.
And a guy ran up in there, and I don't know what he tried to do, but here's the president, and they're just going to show you some video of the guy running up in there and getting shot.
He just unified. I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does. Secret Service.
So, yo, that's crazy. That is insane.
So you text me. I'm at the bar, watching the game with a bunch of people, and I'm like, yo, somebody got shot at the correspondent. I'm reading what they said. And, because it's press and all the press and all the media and everything, they were like, oh, it wasn't Jimmy Kimmel, was it? Jimmy Kimmel? Because they were like, so there was jokes about
but here's the thing. The press, I've watched, some of the reporters, and they acting like the attack, like it was a planned attack on them. No, well, the dude got shot. He got apprehended. I really don't think he was coming for you, because if he was, he could get you at your house.
Get you coming out, get you coming in.
Exactly. So they're starting to twist this. Look, and I say it, people might get mad. I really don't care. Every president got assassinated is because somebody didn't want them to do something internationally. Unless, Lincoln was a whole different story. He got attacked. He got shot most likely for freeing those black folk.
Yeah, the whole Civil War, all that.
Right. So, but international.
And JFK got killed over, trying to stop the war and some other stuff he was trying to.
It was international.
He was trying to shut stuff down. And he was
he was going, listen, JFK, RFK,
right.
Whether people like it or not, right, was because they were speaking out against the influence of money from the supporters of Israel. Let's make it plain. And then because at that time,
RFK wanted them to register as foreign agents or something like that.
As foreign agents.
And they never had to do that before. And
they never had to do it. They killed them, and then they made AIPAC. Right after that. AIPAC is the baby of the organization that they wanted to register as a foreign agent. So we have to understand. It says the shooter is a photo with an IDF sweatshirt on. So Israel hit. I don't know. It could be an Israel hit. You never know.
How did you see that in the video? Because he was moving too fast for me to see.
No, there's pictures of him.
Okay. I would say he was moving so fast. I ain't see nothing but a blur.
Exactly. Yo, son. Yo, that was when I first saw the video. I was like, Jesus. What is it, track star? Because how did they shoot him? Yo, he ran in there so fast.
He was gone. Nobody knew what was going on. It was just people were like, wait, what happened? What?
Yeah. It took people. Even if you see Trump's face when they were trying to get him to go, he didn't know what was going on. He was like, no, because it happened at the entrance in the lobby. Yeah. So, but if you listen to with the audio, you can hear the gunshots, right? Over all the noise, you can hear. Some people don't know what gunshots are, so they just eating and. But if you understand what gunshots is, you'd be like, yo, that sounds like gunshots, man.
Yeah, but with all that noise and people talking and everything, and then it might have been some music playing or something. If it wasn't in the room they were in, it's probably
right. No, but some people don't know what gunshots sound like.
Oh yeah.
Like some people really never been to a firing range and don't hear gunshots all the time. So even if you're sitting there and the noise, you'll hear it. Huh?
I'm sorry, I was about to say I lived on the south side of Mount Vernon. I ain't been to a gun range, but I know what a gunshot sounds like. I'm sorry. I know that's not funny. I know that's not funny.
Unless you live in Mount Vernon.
I shouldn't have said that. But I'm not saying all Mount Vernon. I was saying where I lived on the South 7th Avenue, boy. You heard him. What Secret Service had the same detail on the president as when they shot at in Butler? They are
they're loyal to the Obama and Bushes. You never know. Listen, You never know. You never know, because see, the mainstream media is not going to talk about none of that. But I don't think anybody in the Secret Service, after what happened out there with him actually getting shot, and they didn't do their perimeter correctly, because it was no way that building should not have been secure.
That's one of the first things, and the first things they do is they look at all the tall buildings and they clear the buildings, and then they make it where you can't go up in any of the buildings. Like, that is the first thing they do, and they do it in advance. The advance team does that, like, before he even gets there. Like, they do all of that. So that person should have never. Somebody let him up, because he shouldn't have been able to get up there.
There's a picture online of the guy. He's wearing an IDF sweatshirt on. Other be assassination attempt was Netanyahu. Well, hey, listen, I don't know.
I can't speak. We can't speak. I can't speak intelligently to that because I don't know. But that's interesting.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna jump into our last story.
Go ahead.
We're gonna jump into our last story before we get into our guests. I see you in the green room, Yolanda. I see you. So the next story is the Southern Poverty Law Center, and let's just watch the video.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of 1 person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations Affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, after SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing. Not dismantling extremism, but funding it. To carry out this scheme, SPLC created bank accounts in the name of at least 5 completely fictitious organizations that had no bona fide employees or legitimate business purpose. The money was passed from SPLC to one sham account to a second sham account and then loaded onto prepaid cards to give to the members of the extremist groups. This was designed to shield the source of those funds, and because of this, SPLC is also charged with 1 count, as I said earlier, of conspiracy to commit money laundering. In conclusion, I want to thank the acting U.S. Attorney in the Middle District of Alabama, Kevin Davidson, who's in his district right now and not able to be with us, for bringing this important case, along with the FBI team in Alabama for their hard work.
All right. For the sake of time, That's amazing. So the pushback, what people are saying is that these white supremacists were informants for the Southern Poverty Law Center. And my response to that, you do not make shell companies to transfer money, to move money around, to put money on debit cards for informants.
So we're not gonna belabor this because we have a guest.
Right.
All I'm gonna tell is our audience is, like everything else, these are accusations until they're proven guilty. They got to prove this case in court. The truth will come out, regardless of what it is. The truth will come out. You know.
Well, you know, I see. Here's the problem I have, and we're gonna get it, is that the Southern Poverty Law Center is the go-to people for all the racist stuff. What's racist? What's not racist? What's anti-Semitic? What's not anti-Semitic? What's this and what's that? Right? They're the gold standard, right? They're the ones that went after Minister Farrakhan and said that he was racist and all this other crazy stuff. When Minister Farrakhan has done more work in the Black community than a lot of organizations out there, and has changed people's lives in a lot of organizations out there. And when you're talking wire fraud and you're talking all that, you're talking paper trail.
Right.
You're talking you're talking paper trail. You ain't talking we think. They got a proven, well, they got the bank accounts. They got they came after the Hebrew Israelites too. Yeah. They have called most of the revolutionary and forward-thinking Black organizations that have stood up for Black people racist. So I'm not saying they're guilty.
That's all I just said. That's what I said.
Right. But I'm saying, you know, God, this is the year of exposure. 2026. This is the year of exposure.
And I said the truth will come out.
And they're going to get exposed. See, we got to start. See, we allow too many organizations that get money from all these other people to influence how we think as Black people. And we don't know who's paying these organizations. How are these people doing all this stuff and ain't got no job? Who's paying for them to go out here and do all this stuff? Yolanda laughing. But you know what? You know what I'm saying? Van Jones and all them. How do you do all this and you ain't got no job? Tamika Mallory, ain't nobody got no damn job. I'm just keeping it 100. I worked 33 years in correction. I got a pension. I've watched y'all do all this stuff and traveling, and you ain't got no job. We better start evaluating a lot of these people that say they are our leaders. Like Tommy from Martin.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got no damn job, Tommy. I was gonna say that.
All right, we're gonna bring in our sister. Hold on, let me set the thing up. That it? Yeah. We're gonna welcome sister. This is my family right here. Yoland Jones, church.
Welcome to the.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Now you got a forum coming up. When is it again?
May 2nd, this Saturday.
This Saturday. This Saturday. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about mental health.
Yes, mental health awareness. Mm-hmm. This is our third year. I was blessed to be on one of the panels. Yes.
And we rocked out. We rocked out. We rocked out and had a great time, you know. Yes. So tell me, this is your third year. So tell me the importance of making sure that we have this conversation about mental health.
Okay. So I feel that it's very important. Our community needs so much awareness when it comes to mental health. We've shunned it. We don't address things that have happened in our families. You know, back in the day, what happens in the family stays in the family. The church scene, what goes on, we shush everything. And so many people are being hurt on top of hurt, on top of hurt, and then they're hurting their kids, and then their kids is hurting. And we have to address some things. We have to touch on things and say, hey, I was hurt by my uncle. I was hurt by my aunt. Let's talk about this. We don't talk about anything, and it's okay to seek help. And that's my main goal, is to let people know that it's okay to seek help. Let's break that stigma. Let's not say what's going on. Let's be quiet. Let's not talk about it. We're embarrassed. No, let's break that stigma so we can heal. We got to heal in our communities. We got to heal in our families. We need that healing. So we have to continue to break the stigma. So I felt it was important. Of course, I started doing it in my church, the Live Nation Church in Mount Vernon, who my pastor is Bishop Damon Mack, and we've been doing it just amongst ourselves. That was a goal that I wanted to do, to eventually get it out into the community. And we decided, let's just not do it in the church. Let's open it up. Let's just not have it for church members. It's a free event. You don't have to pay. Just need to register so I can get a count, because I'm gonna feed you. You get a little bit of breakfast, you get a little bit of lunch, you go away with a gift bag. Like, I got all kind of things that I'm giving away. I just need people to register, because I don't want to get stuff for 80 people and then 200 show up. So, but of course, we're gonna plan anyway. But I just think it's important for our community, our churches, our families to heal. It's important to break that stigma. We have to, because there's so much pain. I mean, you see it on the TV, you see it on our lives, things that people are going through, and we have to break the stigma. We have to. We got enough going on in society that, you know, we can't address these situations.
I think I applaud you for what you're doing, because it's definitely a necessary conversation, and it's definitely a conversation we need in our community, But talk about, you know, I know Damon has said something about this before, and I've seen this before. To like men not thinking, you know, not going to seek help, or their women thinking they're weak for going to get help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like, you know, you got a nice strong man. He knows he wants some stuff. He got to work it out. But you think he's weak or punk or something, because and when you say that to him, that's going to make him not get help, and your household's not going to be healthy. So I want you to speak to that, because the stigma with men going to do that, like, oh, you know, something, you know, must be weak or something if you get, you know, no.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because first, you're not weak because you're seeking help. You're weak when you don't seek help. That's when you're weak. But you're going out. And I see that a lot. I work at the Guidance Center of Westchester, one of the therapists there, and we don't see many men. And when they do come in, it's like, I don't want to tell anybody that I'm here. Like, why don't you want to tell anybody that you're here? Like, you're trying to better yourself. So I do see this a lot. And I think it's maybe just the way that we've grown up, the way that our parents taught us, because the man is the head of the household, and they feel that if I go say that I'm dealing with issues, I'm dealing with maybe some past trauma in my life, my family might think that I'm weak. But we as women, we also have to support our men to say, honey, babe, boo, whoever you are, go and get therapy. And you know what? I'm going to get therapy too. So I know how to help you when areas are a little bit, you know, if the line is a little bit gray, are you going through something? I know how to talk to you. I know how to address the things that you're going on. We can't say make a man feel less than because you're going to get therapy. That's a great man that's going to get therapy, because he don't want his trauma to fall off on the family. He doesn't want his trauma to fall off on the kids. So I applaud you. Most women should be applauding men that said that they want to get to therapy. And a lot of times what I also see, we don't have a lot of male therapists.
Right.
Black therapists.
And that's
black period. Black male or black or just black therapists.
Yeah. But what she's saying, that's a problem too, because some men don't want to have this conversation with a woman. They want to they feel more comfortable having the conversation with a man as opposed. Yeah.
And which is I understand, because some things as a woman I won't know for a man. So some things I can't speak to. I can speak to it clinically and give you, coping skills and what I think that will help you go along the way. But it's nothing like speaking to someone who can say, as a Black man, I know how you feel.
Right.
But clinically,
Right.
this is what we can do. Same for a woman. Sometimes a woman don't want to go to a man who's a therapist because there's female things that we want to talk about. But clinically, we all can speak to whatever that issue is, because trauma is trauma, depression is
Right.
depression. So
Right.
the clinical piece we can speak to.
Right.
But I do understand that, and there is a lack of male therapists. It's a lack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you
Yeah.
think that is? Is it the field they're not going into? They're not getting encouraged to go into, or it's harder for them to get into? What do you?
I don't think it's hard, because I know a few. I would say some things might hit home, and then sometimes some people may feel like this is deep. I don't want to go into it. But it's not hard to go, because I know a few Black therapists. It's not hard. It's easy to go to school and take the classes and do it. I don't know if it's the pay, because it's not the greatest pay, but you can get a good pay with it depending where you are.
Right.
So I'm not really sure why it's like that. I'm starting to see more Black males going to school for social work. I'm starting to see a lot. So in my church, I started this ministry called the Healthy Mind Ministry. And what we do is we speak to those who are in our church to really encourage them to seek therapy. So we'll do like a consultation and talk about therapy and what it looks like. A lot of times I'll do a mental health screening, like the GAD. That's a screening that measures where you are on anxiety. So are you at a 0? Are you at a 15? Then we have the PHQ-9, which does the depression screening to see where you are. And I'll give them that piece of paper and I'll walk with them the steps to find a therapist for them. So we'll look for a therapist. We'll go on all the sites to find a therapist that meets their needs and see if that works for them. And I'll give them that information to give to the therapist. If there's no connect and they're not working with them, then we go back to the drawing board and we try to find you another therapist. So with the Healthy Minds, we have some actually have a young man in the church who's going to school to become a social worker. He jumped on the team. So we're really there to just support, because we can't really do therapy for them because we're in the same church and it's like a breach of confidentiality and all of that. But we can work with you, help you find a therapist. If you're having a crisis, there's someone there to talk to you and say, okay, what do we need to do? How can we help you? How can we assist you? What kind of help do you need? And we're going to go the step with you all the way. Like, we're not just going to say, here's some numbers, call them in. That's it. Like, we're going all the way with you.
I see that it trickles down. So if you have unhealthy adults, male or fathers or mothers, you can't be healthy and whole for your children. And when we have, we talked about, I did a series of articles on the mental health of our children, someone, or with all the violence that was going on in the schools and the shootings and the stabbings and all that. And people were saying, they got PTSD. And I was like, no, like a soldier coming home from war. I said, no, what's the difference? The soldier comes home for war. They live in the war zone. The students walk in the school is the war zone. They never leave the war zone. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then when these things happen and you don't provide, and this goes to our preachers, teachers, and politicians, when you don't provide a place for them to unpack, and then the next thing happens, and you haven't provided a thing for them to unpack, and then the next thing happens, then you got them big brawls like the two cheerleading teams, a whole bunch of them, 40, 50 of them fighting in the street, because these things bubbled over and over and over. And none of these things got, and everybody, I'm sorry, I pass the blame everywhere. I talk to people in the Board of Ed. I talk to people in the school district. I talk to coaches and teachers. They all knew this was an issue months and months before that.
That part.
You understand what I'm saying? And so we got to do better. And I put this, I'm not criticizing you, but I'm just putting this out to our preachers, our teachers, and our politicians and our leaders. We need, but we need you to be healthy too.
Right.
Listen,
if none of us are healthy, how am I going to help somebody else?
Exactly. You can't.
And then when you say something, it might trigger me or something. How can I help you if I can't help myself?
The saddest
Right.
thing was,
You
and
gotta
I
be
just want to say that
healthy.
the last thing I want to say about the kids, the saddest thing with the young lady who the girl that got stabbed, and
Mhm.
one got killed and one got stabbed.
Mhm.
The mother of the girl who got stabbed that lived, her daughter was 16 or 17. She was brought back to the trauma of her cousin being stabbed in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at that time, she still hadn't really fully processed and unpacked that.
Yeah.
That this triggered that because she spoke at a school board meeting. I got it on video, and you
Mhm.
can feel the pain still all these years later.
Mhm.
And you know these things, this the generational trauma. So
Mhm.
I think that what
Right.
you're doing is important. You know, and you know, I always say our youth because sometimes we got to start somewhere. You know, it's
Right.
probably easier to get to them before they become adults and stuff. You know,
Exactly.
but we got to get
Right.
to the adults too. So I
Mhm.
applaud what you're doing because it's definitely necessary work. Definitely God's work. It's
Thank you.
definitely God's work.
And
But
I'm glad you said that because one of the speakers that's going to be on the forum, she's talking about the inner child, the hurt that we have for
Mhm.
the inner child and how it plays
Mhm.
out in our adulthood.
Mhm.
And it's important because so many things happen in our childhood. Going back to what I said before, we say, oh, be quiet. Don't worry about it. Don't say anything. Don't let the family know. And it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And then you're wondering why somebody's beating on another individual or a child because when they was a child, they were beating on, you know? So
Mhm.
it's important. It's those, it just builds up and builds up. And we have to address it. We have to talk about it. And
Yeah.
we can't judge people. Let them know that it's a free
Right.
space.
Right.
Go ahead and vent. Tell us how you're feeling, you know, and let it be a safe space. And that's the main thing, being a
Mm.
safe space for them so they're able, you know, to vent.
I had
Yeah.
another
I'm gonna.
conversation. Wait, real quick. I had another conversation with a sister recently, and she was dealing with this guy. He was married. Now he's not married, and then he's with her. But he had a bunch of issues, and he never dealt with those issues. So he went from his wife's bed to her bed, and he brought all those issues with her. And I was trying to explain that to her, like you don't have a healthy man. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't get a chance to heal from that situation. They were together for years, and they hadn't healed. He didn't heal, and he's bringing all that to you.
All that bad.
And you're looking
Right.
for
Right.
somebody to wife you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not one like
And
so.
he's not
So
even thinking. He's not even there.
right.
Yeah.
So you know,
Right.
I just had a conversation with somebody recently like that, and
Mhm.
you know, it's
Well,
it's
Yolanda, I
it's many
wanna
layers. Go
I
ahead.
wanna hook you up with my wife because she's in the youth bureau of
Okay.
Mount Vernon,
Okay.
and you know, just the stories I listen to,
Mhm.
and I'm like, you know what? Like the parents need help, the
Yeah.
children need help, you know, and they don't have no programs like that. You
Mm.
know,
Okay.
they need because you know who the kids are,
Yeah.
right? But you're not attaching them to a program so that the parents and the children can get the help that they
Right.
need, that you know, to heal whatever trauma is going on in the home. You
Mhm.
know, I did a story that they found in Westchester 40 runaways
Wow.
in Westchester County, in just one county. And a lot of times the report was saying that they weren't like running away. They were just at somebody else's house because they didn't want to be home.
Go home.
And they were staying out there for weeks. You know, so that shows that there's something going on, that we're not having the right conversations
Mhm.
around our children, you know?
And you know, you're so right. I have a 17-year-old son, and he has like 4 friends that he's really close with, and they all come over to my house. That's how I started my lemonade business. They come over to my house, right? And the things that they ask me, like, I'm like, you don't talk to your mom, you don't talk to your dad about this.
Exactly.
And it's just about simple stuff about a girl. How do you treat a female?
Right.
How
Right.
does a female like to be treated? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, but I have to say something to them because I don't want them going out treating a female the wrong way. You know,
Exactly.
say to them,
Exactly.
how would you want somebody to treat your mom? How
Right.
feel, you know, and I'm like, you always want to treat a female respect, and they just continue. He's on the phone with them. They're like, Mom, they want to have a session. I'm like, oh my goodness. But they need that, you know, and like you said, a lot of kids don't have that. So they're not at home. Some parents are sitting there yelling at them, do this, you're no good. There's a reason why they're acting like this.
Exactly.
Doing this because just to be doing it, there is a reason, and we got to find the root cause of why. And what are the parents doing at home to make them feel like this?
Exactly. We did a mentoring program a while back in Mount Vernon at one of the elementary schools. And one of the kids, he was just tired and agitated and all this. So we got him in the program. And Cecil Parker. Yeah. And we found out that he was taking care of his 2 younger siblings all night. Right? So by the time he got to school,
depleted.
You know, so I talked to the principal. I said, dude, you got to talk to his mother. You know, he can't, he's failing because he's taking care of, and he didn't want to tell nobody why he was so tired. He couldn't keep up with the class. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing the homework because he's watching 2 kids. You know, and then you got to talk to the mother. Like, you can't have your son doing this.
No,
you got to figure it out. You're adult. You're adult. You know, and a lot of times I see a lot of these young kids, the parents have them being adult.
Right.
A boy husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. They don't have no childhood.
No.
You know, and we also need more Black folks in these programs, in these county programs, because in my 33 years in correction, I only saw a whole bunch of white people. How do you have a jail that's 75, 80% people of color, and you have white women wanting to talk to them, and then they talk about some stuff, mansplaining. What is that?
Yeah.
So what are you talking about, mansplaining? No, you like, what is that? Like, how do y'all talk about mansplaining? What is that? You know, and these are the things that these people come in and we supposed to be fixing our children, and we're just making them worse.
I wanted to talk about what you were saying about the kids. I was blessed that my mom, a lot of my friends and my sister's friends who couldn't speak to their mom would come to my house, and my mother would keep it until it was something that she had to share with them. She said, "This is something I can't keep from your parents, but I will be there when you're going to tell your mom, but I will be there with you when you tell them." You know what I'm saying? And so I tried to, when my daughter was growing up, because you got to figure their friends, they spend more time with their friends than anybody else. So I wouldn't know who her friends was. I wanted to know what was in their head. I wanted to know who their parents was. I wanted to know, because they have the influence of my daughter, like hours and hours of every day. Like, so I wanted to know who her friends was. I wanted that you can bring them over. We have a cookout.
That parent, yep.
I'm picking their brains, like, trying to see where their heads is at, like, because and people used to laugh when I said that, but no, my daughter spends a significant time. She's grown now, but she spent a significant time with these friends, and if their mind ain't right, and this is what she did. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now you bring it to my daughter. That's
exactly. You know, we got to check. We got to check the spirits.
Like back in the day, remember, like, we all was a community. Even if I see my son's friends on the street and they was somebody, I pull over like, "What you doing?" And they go, "Mom, I'm not doing." Don't make me follow you, because you know I'll follow you. Now it's just like, "Oh, I saw so and so, and they was don't let me see you smoking and drinking."
Exactly. Yeah. Listen, when I was my whole block had permission to beat my behind for my mother if they saw me doing something crazy, you know, and they told my mother, you know what I'm saying, and she didn't have any problem with it. And we just got to get back to community. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know what happened to our community.
You know, when you provide structure, you'd be surprised. Damon was talking about the program at Cecil Parker. So I lived around the corner from Cecil Parker.
Okay.
So we would go there, every Friday or whatever. And 1 or 2 of the kids were coming down the block, and they was with their friends. And I'm sitting on the porch, and they saw me. and he's telling his boys, pull your pants up, because he saw me. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's telling them to act a certain way because he saw me, because he's like, you know what I'm saying? And then he spoke to me, and then I was at IHOP one day with friends and family, and one or two of the kids came up, "Mom, this is the guy from the program," and I got to meet the mother, and and they were hearing about the stuff we did. And that does affect, like I said, I lived around the corner, so I saw them on the block. I saw them. They had to see me every day, like, in their every day. And that's important, just being present. Sometimes just being present is important, and listening. And a friend of mine, she's like this, she does this hip hop. They calls herself a hip hop therapist. She was like, one of the ways she reached the kids, right? This is interesting, Damon. Oh, she said it on our show. We had on the show. So she was like, she couldn't understand what the kids were listening to. But what she did, she printed out the lyrics. When she printed out the lyrics, she read the pain that they was expressing in there. They're telling you what's going on. We just didn't understand it, but you had to print it out because you couldn't understand it on the record. So she printed it out, and that's how she was able to reach a bunch of these kids. Like, that's crazy. I was like, that's very powerful. I was like, we need to do that. We need to print out the lyrics. Because they're telling you what's wrong. They're telling you why they feel the way they feel. They're telling you what they're seeing.
And we're not hearing it.
We just we can't hear it. Or we don't want to hear it. Or we don't
want to hear it. Right.
So I want to applaud you for what you're doing. I also want to say I'm the vice president of the Mount Vernon NAACP. I want you to get my number from Damon, and I want to see if we can set something up where you come talk to at one of our meetings and come address the branch. You know what I'm saying, and the importance of mental health, how we can get involved, and how we can be more involved, because we need our organizations to get involved. And sometimes it's just being present, and sometimes it's just listening.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever I can help from that aspect as well, that's my other hat I wear. So Damon, please give her my number, and
absolutely.
Let's follow up.
That's good to know, because actually next year for the mental health symposium, I just want to do straight youth.
Yes.
3 years with adults. I want to do straight youth. I want them to come in. I want them to talk. I don't even know if I want adults in there. I just want them to come in there to talk, get a free space, and let's figure out how we can help them. But I just need help with getting the youth there. Youth
no, we'll work that out. You ain't said nothing.
Okay.
You ain't said nothing. We work that out. We'll figure it out, and get the kids in there.
We were trying to do something similar, but the elected officials and they were allowed to be there, but they weren't allowed to speak. So they had to listen to what the kids had to say, no matter what they had to say, no matter what they had to feel. But it was I got resistance from a lot of people in the community of putting this together. We weren't able to pull it off. But I still want to, if I can work with you to pull something like that together, like the elected officials,
we should do it.
They're just not allowed to speak.
Right.
They have to come in. They have to sit and listen, because they need to hear what the kids feel. My friend Brenda always says we talk about all these things that's good for the children while they're involving or talking to the children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how we talking about what's best for them? We're not even talking to them and hearing what the we had a youth symposium, and they were talking about putting more basketball courts, and they were asking the kid what they want. I didn't know there was so many this was 2015. I didn't realize there were so many skateboarders and soccer players and stuff. They're not playing basketball. They don't want another basketball court. They want a skate park. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't. But if you don't talk to them, you don't know that.
You won't know.
Right.
So you think you're doing something by putting another basketball program, and none of these kids are playing basketball. And the rest of them are playing soccer.
I did that to my son. Play basketball, because all the guys I know play basketball. You got to do football. And he comes and said, I want to play soccer. And I was like, soccer? Okay, that's what you want to play. I'm going to be a soccer mom. Go ahead. Do it.
Exactly.
I see at Graham School now, they have a space. There's a basketball court, but they have a thing for soccer. And I go out there because I do a lot of walking. So I walk around the school and I walk through. And I sit there sometimes and I watch. And there's the kids throwing the football around. There's the kids playing basketball. But the soccer area and then the open field, those two areas are always full.
Crowded, yep.
And it's black kids. It's not like it's not, they're not all Caribbean, they're not all Latino, they're not all white. It's black American kids playing soccer. And, but again, Mount Vernon's whole thing is we're going to put another basketball hoop up. You know what I'm saying? And you're not talking to the kids. You're not talking about what they want. And
talk to the kids. Yeah,
you can't do what's good for them. And we need programs. The programs, first off, too, I want to say to the people that are listening and will watch this later, there are programs, but we need to support them.
Yes.
Support them, the ones that's doing the work.
Right.
You need to support them financially. Like sometimes you don't have time.
Right.
Like you can't give your time, but you can give a couple of dollars. You understand what I'm saying? You have to invest in the people that are invested in our kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And if you can, volunteering is more important than money because they need bodies. The kids need, and the last thing is you can't do this just show up every now and then. What these kids need to see is consistency. What happens to them, we have these forums and stuff, and we have people show up for a month or so, and then the kids see then they don't see them no more. So the next time we have it, they be like, they ain't relying on y'all because it's crazy because we can never count on you. So we got to be consistent and we got to show up and we got to get involved.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't have to recreate something else. We got to support the organizations and the programs that are doing things now. So
absolutely.
So they can do more. So I applaud you in any way that I can help you, from my hat with Black Westchester and my hat with the NAACP.
Reach out.
Yes.
We gonna make it happen. We gonna put it out in the atmosphere, and it's gonna materialize. We gonna put. And listen. After I get off the show, I'm calling my wife. Say, I know who you could work with. Because I gave her a program for the young men, but politics play a game, and I'm like, well, hey, that's on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know God blessed me to do.
Right.
And y'all don't want to utilize it, then it is what it is. I can't, I'm not gonna cry no tear.
Right.
But see how God worked. We're gonna give them you. We're gonna give them you. We're gonna give you a different Jones. Hey, wait a minute.
A different Jones.
So give them a different Jones.
So listen. So for people who are watching this, and a lot of people watch after the replay gang, they watch it on the replay. So, how can people get involved in can they get in touch with you to find out more about what you're doing? Is there social media or contact information? Share all. I want to give that so people can.
I have my Facebook page. It's under Yoland Jones. You can reach me that way. I'm at the Live Church, 237 South 6th Avenue. All you gotta do is ask for Yolanda, and they're gonna point you right to me. I'm around. I work at the Guidance Center. Right. You ask for Yoland Jones, the Guidance Center. I'm there.
Now, where's the Guidance Center at again?
On Washington Street, 256 Washington Street.
Okay.
Burgundy building, factory building looking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So and when in your program Saturday, talk about that. Tell everybody what time and everything. So and how to register and when they need to register by, all that stuff.
So it's the Mental Health Symposium, Breaking the Stigma, Knowing Your Purpose. And that's this Saturday, May 2nd, and it starts at 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock. The registration has been closed, but you can just come. You can register at the door. That was just really for a number count, and we hit the mark. We're over 80 people. So now we know what to do. But it's open. Anybody can come. They'll register. We'll take your name, your number, your email, and keep you on the list. So when we have it next year, we can also send it out. So anyone can come. It's open to all. You don't have to worry about register. You can do it there.
And make sure you take some pictures.
Oh, yes. We're going to take pictures.
Send it to us. And we'll put them on the website. So
I'll let the media team know.
And again, get my number from Damon and remind me on Friday if I can. I will show up.
Great.
I don't know what I'm doing, but you might have to wait till you might have to remind me on Friday though. Friday.
I will be down there.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, I'm going. This the rally in front of. I'm going to set things on fire, son.
Okay. It's Saturday? On Saturday?
Yeah, it's the second.
Okay.
Jesse Van Loo. It's the second.
So what time is the rally?
It's the same day. This is at 1.
And what time is your thing?
11.
It's at 11.
11 to 3.
Yeah, so I'm gonna slide in and slide out.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, then let's be up and I'll be at both things. And I'll
Okay.
be there.
Yeah. I'm gonna slide in and slide out.
We can grab a picture of y'all when y'all come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah,
well, thank you as always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, fam.
This was great.
No, anytime. Yes. You know, our door is open. Anytime you want to talk about something, and you know, tell Bishop you got to come on.
I told him the other day. I said, "Listen, you got an appointment." He's like, "All right. I'm coming. I was like, "All right."
And you tell him AJ said, "Hey," because I see him every now and then, and they'll be like, "Hey," you know. So yeah, tell him I said.
I'll let him know.
Yes.
I'll let him know. Thank you guys so much.
No, thank you.
Connect.
All
I
right.
to do that youth. It's really been on my heart to do it, but
good.
Just need some more people to help me.
Okay.
With that. Yeah.
All right. Whatever you want to do. I'm down. I'm retired, man. I ain't got no job.
Time, right?
Other than to work for the people. That's it. You know, that's my job now. So let's make it happen.
And whatever his wife and running errands for his wife.
Not a lot.
No.
Not a lot. I stay up in Middletown. I stay up in Middletown. They be like, "You coming down?" Nah. You know what I'm saying? When she moved me up here, that was the worst thing she did. Because I don't be trying to drive down to Mount Vernon or Westchester County, anything. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna feel like doing that drive, man. Nope. Stay right here. I'm good. Right in the house. I'm a house man. I just stay in the house. Sit outside on my porch. You know what I'm saying? Just sit outside my porch. Be like, It'd be so quiet. Oh my God, it's so quiet up here. Oh my God. I come down to Mount Vernon, be bang, 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 like, oh no. I be getting in the car, be like, yo, I'm out. AJ, you know, I be in and out of Mount Vernon, man. Because I just can't even do the noise no more.
Yeah, he be calling me, I just left Mount Vernon. Oh, you were here? Yeah. Like, yo, dude, why you ain't calling me while you was here? He's like, yo,
I be out, man. Listen, I was supposed to go to Kobe's thing. I rescheduled something, and I was running late. I took a shower, laid my clothes out, did everything. I just said, I just can't do it. I just called Kobe and apologized. But
on another note, he was dedicated to come to your thing. He picked me up one thing. And we drove up and we trying to figure out where everybody was, and he had the wrong.
And I was the wrong day. Remember, I came down there the wrong day.
Say it was supposed to be. The Sunday or the day in April. He was there in the day in March, the same day in March. Like, so we in the parking lot. He's like, man, it's empty. He's calling people. Like, yo, he came. He was making sure he was there. He was there a month early.
And I looked at the flyer. Remember, I text you. Never mind. Never mind. I'm in the wrong month.
I remember.
Oh my God!
I was in the car with him sitting across the street.
Empty.
I was like, damn, what's going on? Am I early? What's going on? Wrong month. I was ready. He gave me another month to prepare. He gave me another month to prepare.
Now we're on his mind because he came down a month early. I was on his mind.
Oh man.
Well, thanks, sis.
Yes, thank you.
You know, as always, give everybody the love. Give everybody the love, and we'll see you on the second.
Okay, see you on the second.
And Damon, give him my contact, and you on top.
Yes,
keep me informed because I am here. I just always can't be there, but I am in Mount Vernon.
Okay, all right. Yep, we'll definitely connect.
All right.
Good night. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, that we need to. So for everybody tuning in, and you didn't know, this is Black Westchester presents the People Before Politics radio show. We're on every Sunday, 6 to 8, simulcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and sometimes wherever else we can, and on blackwestchester.com sometimes. And we're trying to get more into going back to what we started doing, these community spotlights. The show is called People Before Politics, and sometimes politics just overruns things. So we try to get back to the people. So we do more segments like this, and You know, this is our latest segment. You know, community spotlight on sister really doing some good work, and y'all need to go. Y'all need to go show up and see. It's not so good to say, "Yo, we don't have programs." It's not good to just sit there and complain. Well, we don't have nobody for the kids. We don't have nobody dealing with mental health. When we bring these issues up to you and we show you that these events are happening, you got to make yourself available, and you can't be everywhere, but you got to show up to some of these things, and you got to support the people that are doing the work. If you can't be there in person and you can't volunteer, you know, small donations go a long way. You got to invest in the people that are investing in the people. You know what I'm saying? So I bang that home every time we do one of these segments. So you can show up Saturday. You can show up Saturday. Show up just to see the work that they're doing. Show up, see how you can get involved. Show up and see how you can support. Show up and bring somebody else. And for mental health, check on. We were talking about seniors being scammed. Check on the seniors in your family, you know, in your community, in your building, and on your block. You know what I'm saying? Check on them. You know what I mean? Check on your family members. There are so many people that are suffering in silence. You know, nobody's asked them how they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna walk around and tell you, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Like, there's so many people suffering in silence that the people in their family and the people on their block and the people around them don't even know. So check on those close to you. Check on them. See how they doing. Check on the family member. Check on the neighbor. Check on the neighbor across the street. Check on the person above you. Did you see every day riding up the elevator in your building? Ask them how they're doing. You know.
Absolutely, man. That's about it.
Yeah. We call it a day. Now I can go. I can get my walk on early. I didn't do too many steps today. I got to get out and get my walk.
So, the paper's up online, right? So everybody can get the e-paper. Get the e-paper, Black Westchester, new e-paper. Go to blackwestchester.com. We're the life and legacy of Bob Law.
Yes.
One of the greatest. And you could also go on Westchester. You could also go on Black Westchester YouTube and check out one of the interviews that we did with Bob Law. Tomorrow is Meatless Mondays. Check me out. 11 a.m. We're talking about the Daniel diet. How the prophet Daniel stayed strong. What I don't understand what is going on with this thing here.
Popping
off. We talk about the importance of fruits and vegetables and the example of the prophet Daniel on Meatless Mondays. Also, at 8 o'clock tomorrow, Chicago Flips Red. These sisters out in Chicago is doing their thing. I interviewed them. They're really changing the political landscape in Chicago. You know, it's about interests. You know, one of the sisters is planning on running for mayor in Chicago. So listen, you know, and we can't judge anybody. Like, we live in New York. Politics in New York is not the same as politics in Chicago.
Well,
even though we would like to, right, or anywhere else, well, unless it's California. But, you know, these sisters made it plain on why they flipping to red, and the fact that, you know, it doesn't take away their blackness. You know, it's a political party line. It's a way to make change. So definitely have, and one of the sisters already, she's been down testifying in Congress on how the legal immigration has affected the Black community in Chicago. And they have been, you know, out there doing their thing and getting resources for the Black community. And very interesting interview. Please check it out. And also, I got a video up talking about Roland Martin, man. This is my second video on Roland. but he put a pastor up, and we cannot allow our struggle, Black America's struggle from slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and our fight to be recognized as American citizens to be turned into an immigration argument. It's two different things, right? People came here, immigrants came here willingly. We were stolen. Let's just make it clear. We were stolen. So when they talk immigration, they're not talking about Black Americans because we were stolen.
Came here against our will.
We ain't come here because we were taken against our will. We were stolen people.
Right.
We were stolen people. That has nothing to do. The 14th Amendment has nothing to do with immigration. It was the right or wrong from the Dred Scott case.
So I want to speak on that too. So, the fight for Black American descendants of slavery, the fights that we have, all other people have benefited from, and you don't respect. We can't, and then they put pressure on our Black elected officials to combine their issue with our issue. It is not. There are different things that need to be fought for, but what Black American descendants of slavery are fighting for is not, that issue is not the same as anybody else's issue. And you can't combine it with any other issue. It's okay to support in our fight and want to support other things, but you don't combine it with you can't combine it in our issue. It's just not, it takes away from the fight that Black people have been fighting for in this country. Africans in America have been fighting for in this country forever. It demeans our fight. So we can support you, but you can't combine the issues. And our elected officials need to keep those things separated. You don't see Jewish people putting all those things in their issue combined with the fight that they're fighting. They'll support you, but their fight is their fight. You're not going to support. You're not going to support. And other groups of people are like that. You don't see them combining, but Black people are asked to combine what we're doing with everybody else and to throw that into our stuff, but they don't include us in their stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So let's stop that. Let's stop that. And for our elected officials, you should know better. And if you don't, we should stop supporting you.
Well, they don't know better. They AJ, that's the problem.
That's it. We need to stop. And as the Black people, we need to stop supporting that. And we don't stand. See, no one, if you don't fight for yourself, if you don't stand up for yourself, all kinds of things are allowed to happen to you and you don't say nothing about it. That's on you. No one's going to do that because it's the right thing to do. And yes, thank you. Everybody needs to like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you. We appreciate it, brother.
If you like what you see here, one of the other ways that you can support that is free is to like and share and subscribe and leave comments. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the quickest ways that you can support, and you can show the algorithm and you can show those people out there that you support what Black Westchester and People Before Politics is doing. Leave your comments, subscribe, share this with other people. That is how you can do. Now, of course, financially, you can make donations. You can do what is the super comment, the super thing, the super chat. There's plenty of other ways that you can do that too. But at the bare minimum, you can like, subscribe, share, and leave comments, and help this thing grow and continue as we go. Because we've been giving you the news with the Black point of view since 2014. We've been doing this show, giving you real talk for the community since 2014. We want to thank everybody who's rocked with us all along and who continues to rock with us. But yes, support the people that are doing the work. Yes.
Yeah, and that's something I want to make clear too. Like we are actually a newspaper, right? So that means we got to live up to certain standards and obligations. We're not one of these influencers or these social media hosts that can run off at the mouth without actually backing up what they say. And this is part of the problem, in this day of social media, because you got a lot of people who have a lot of following and they're giving out bad information to Black people. And it creates a bunch of confusion. When we're talking about freedom, justice, equality, better schools, right? Safer communities, better families. Some of these people are really making up stuff that is really not good for us.
Some people are getting paid. Some people are getting paid.
Well, absolutely.
Because put out bad to carry the water for someone else and put out bad information and water down what we're doing and discredit us that are actually speaking up and doing the work.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people are getting paid politically, to keep Black people in a certain in a certain condition, But anybody that says that we shouldn't demand anything for our vote and make excuses for it, Roland Martin and a lot of other elite Negroes, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should really be ashamed of yourself, because no other ethnic community does what you're telling Black people to do. Just vote because you don't like Trump. To me, that's not a good reason. I want to address outcomes. What is voting for this certain politician has done for education, has done for public safety?
So I want to clarify that too a little bit. So we have to get to a point where we're voting for something and stop voting against something. We've even seen that in local politics. We voted against Maureen Walker and ended up with Deborah Reynolds. We voted against Ernie Davis and ended up with Richard Thomas. We got to stop voting against. We're voting against something and not voting for something. And that's a problem. And we're not making people earn our votes. We're giving our votes away. This is something we've talked about for so long, and I'm going to talk about it again. We give away our vote. We don't make any person earn our vote. We give it to them because we like the great, nice sound bites and clever things that come out of their mouth, but they have not shown you work. We have to make people earn our votes. And after they got in because of our votes, we need to hold them accountable. That is also part of the job. Politics is a participatory sport, not a spectator sport. You have to be involved. The whole we the people thing. You have to be involved and keep these elected officials on the straight and narrow. Hold their feet to the fire. That is your job and your responsibility as a registered voter, as a town, as a resident, as a homeowner. This is your job. And for people to talk down to the people that do this, and we let them get away with that, that's our fault. The conditions of our cities, there's been a lot. Take the city of Mount Vernon. Since Black Westchester has been in office, let's see, Ernie Davis, Richard Thomas, Andre, Clinton, Sean. There's been 5 mayors. There have been at least 25 to 30 people in city council. There have been 3 controllers. There have been several school board superintendents. But the condition is still the same. That tells you something. What is the commonality there? You, the people. You have been here for all of this. You have voted for all of this or not voted for all of this. So you have a role to play too. And we have to take our role serious. We have to fight for what it is that we want. I've said this several times. No one has ever gave us as a people something because it was the right thing to do. Everything that we got, we fought for. People died for, people fought for, people bled for, people have been ostracized for, people fought for it. And we have to continue to fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. The things we got of people our ancestors fought for. Now we sitting here chilling and leaving a world way worse for our youth. We supposed to fight for this thing for the next generation. The way the generation before that fought for us. But everybody's comfortable now. Everybody's comfortable. You know, they get you with, like, what's that scene in that movie again? Yo, what happened to all the brothers in the struggle? They all got government jobs. You know, like now ain't nobody out there fighting no more. They gave you the government job with some benefits. And now ain't nobody out there fighting no more. Like, yo, so we have to support. And when you don't fight, you leave a vacuum for the people that Damon are talking about to come in and tell you anything, to come in and pretend to be the leaders, to pretend to be media people, pretend to be activists and advocates. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a following on social media. Because you are not stepping up. So go ahead. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox, and I'm done. But
you know, and people fought for Black people to get government jobs so they could be the change makers within those government agencies that they're working for. But Negroes just went there and fought for and got pensions and overtime and forgot what Black people fought for them to be in there to do. See, this is why I feel for people. Right? But see, when you're supposed to do God's work in those positions and you don't do, God will take it away. That's why Pharaoh has let us go. We did not for 30, 40, no, oh, I'm sorry, for 60 years. See, because I was in the Department of Corrections for 33 years, and none of these punk ass activists say anything about me being a law enforcement officer, because I went out and called the cops racist and then went to work while they went out, called the cops racist and went the fuck home. There's a difference.
Wait. Damon, I have to applaud Damon. I have to co-sign with you. Damon is one of the few that wasn't a retired law enforcement officer calling racism in law enforcement and speaking up on things in this county with his boss, the then county legislator George Latimer was in the audience, and he spoke. It was like, and my boss is right there, like, and spoke on the things that needed to be said. And his boss, who could make a difference, and he not have a job no more, he didn't let that stop them. I understand everybody's not built that way. I do understand, but you got to support the ones that are out there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not about being built. It's understanding your responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about, you know, there's some that's going to stand out, but you don't get scared yourself. You don't get scared yourself and walk away from the one that's standing out.
Right.
Because you're too busy worried about the favors that you're going to get from those white people. Dude, I lived it. I seen these Negroes that are scared. I seen them. I lived that. I lived Black folks. I lived Black people on my job. Talk bad about me because I stand up for Black people, because it make it harder for them to have the relationships with the white officers. I lived that. And I still stood tall. When Black officers didn't even want to vote for me for union president.
Wait, but when something happened to the white officer, who they come to for support? Damon stood with that white officer who was wrong and brought me out there so I could take pictures and do the story on Black Westchester. But those are the same ones that tell you not to stand with Damon, though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's what them Negroes do. See, I really don't care. I don't work there no more. But listen, everybody wanted it light. They didn't want to stand up as black officers. They just wanted to work overtime and get good posts and make some money so they could dress like drug dealers and buy big gold chains and all that other nigger shit. Instead of establish themselves in the department. And that's a lot of black law enforcement officers. They don't understand the struggle for them to even have that job. The sacrifices of people before them for them to have that job. Hell, you had Eric Adams come on this show, say most of them motherfuckers wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for me. But do I get recognized for that? Absolutely not. But that's okay. That's okay. There's not, listen, and I'm not AJ, Dixon, there's other people. Show me a black law enforcement officer in Westchester County that has done what I done.
Wow,
from officer to commissioner that has done what I done for black law enforcement in Westchester County, all the way to the United Nations. Show me them. You won't find one. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm somebody. No, I'm humble about it. Because I did the work. When they did the review, the police review of the state over black cops being shot, who did they call from Westchester County? Who testified? So come on, man. When I spoke at the UN the first time to be interviewed, the second time they had me help write the report.
Went to Geneva, all the way to Geneva.
Exactly, twice.
Blacks in law enforcement and Black Westchester was on that report.
Exactly. So here we are. Here we are today. I don't know. Oh, I swear to God. Oop.
I don't know. Like
you start listen. If you start cursing, you get banned. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful in the chat. You'll be gone. You'll be gone.
So we coming to the close of the show, because we didn't said all of this before, and we
exactly
we didn't said this, and we're not going to keep repeating it over and over for the next half an hour. But this is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show, every Saturday night, 6 to 8.
And I'm sorry if anybody offended. I said a couple of curse words. But
I mean, it is what it is.
I had to get it out of my chest, and it is what it is because I had to make it plain.
No, I'm stopping because you're bringing up a bunch of stuff that makes me want to. We'll be here for another 2 hours, so I'm gonna stop before because there's some stuff I need to say. I want to say too, but thank you for tuning in to another episode of Black Westchester Presents People Before Politics. I'm AJ Woodson, a partner in crime, Damon K. Jones. Shout out to our sister Lanez, who You know what I'm saying? Had some car trouble. She couldn't be here. She'll be back.
Yeah, yeah. Hope you got home safe, Larnez.
Yeah. I'm gonna call her and check on her because I didn't hear from her yet. Make sure she got home safe. But yeah, man, and check out blackwestchester.com. Make sure you check out our Substacks. Follow us on social media, and make sure you we do this to create this platform to give y'all a voice as well. So make sure y'all comment. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all share. And until next week, man. Peace.
Oh man, what did I do? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm trying to find something. Oh, here we go.
Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan, put the people to work, no more mule moves, Black America first. Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.